Welcome back to Turtle's Hot Rods. It's really cold. I don't know exactly how cold it is, but if your refrigerator went out, you could just put everything outside on the ground, and as long as the animal didn't get it, it'd be fine in the morning. But that doesn't matter. We have work to do. Let me show you what we're doing today. Well, today we are working on this firewall. We're going to get it painted in this video. We're going to paint it black. I'm sure you could tell by the thumbnail. And we're going to do a little bit of stuff to pizzazz on it. We're going to do some two-tone with the finish. And what I mean by that is this surround area. See, I got my bead roll right here. This surrounding area on both sides of the firewall is going to be shiny black. And then this inside, and then from this edge back and down is all going to be matte black, or more like a satin. It'll have a little bit of shine to it, but not much. It won't have much more shine than it has right now as a primer. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to show off the bead roll and the custom firewall without it being too much. And just changing it from shiny to matte is going to do that perfectly. Well, as you might know, this is not ready for paint yet. You can look and you can literally see the roughness in the primer. We can't paint over that, or we'll have a big ugly mess on our hands in the paint. As you've probably heard, a good paint job is 90% prep, 10% spraying. And that is dang true. Load it up, headed to the paint booth. Alright, I'm pretty excited because it's about time to start spraying some color on this truck for the first time since we got it like 2 years ago. So what we're going to spray today is, I got some sealer shaking up on the shaker, going to mix it up, some gray sealer to seal everything in so that our top coat is all an even good color. And then we're going to spray 2 coats of single stage high gloss black. That's all we're doing for today. Tomorrow I'll come back. We're going to mix up and spray our Raptor liner, truck bed liner, down in the trough, the rain trough, the cowl area, whatever you want to call it. And then all along the bottom side of the truck cab will be bed lined first thing tomorrow morning. Then, after that's kind of cured up a little bit, I'll untape it, and I'm going to start color sanding and buffing on these areas here on the firewall. And then Sunday, I'll come in and tape up everything on the firewall, everything I don't want to get flat clear on, which will be these areas, down in here, all along the bottom side of the truck, the rest of the cab, everything. And then we'll spray flat clear on the majority of the firewall. And what that'll leave us with is flat clear, shiny clear, flat clear, finished. And it'll look really, really cool and really, really nice. So let's get to work. Well, I'm back over here at the body shop in the paint booth with the truck. It is the next day. It has been less than 24 hours since I sprayed this. I think I was spraying right around lunchtime yesterday, and it's about 10 a.m. And it ain't dry. Now, we had the heaters running whenever I was spraying and had it about 65 degrees in the booth, and then cut them all off after a little while and let the booth run for about an hour. And everybody went home, and it rained overnight, so it got real humid. Come back this morning with the intentions to tape up some stuff, spray my bed liner under the floor, and spray my bed liner down in here. And I ain't doing nothing, because watch this. Look here. See that? Right down there, see that fingerprint? Yeah. It ain't dry. All right, well, I got the bed liner done. It's almost 1 o'clock. Today is Sunday. I have work tomorrow. So I'm gonna let this dry and tack off for about 30 to 45 minutes. Gonna eat some lunch, take a little break, and then I'm gonna come back and start untaping stuff. Untape the firewall and be very careful, try not to smear the bed liner anywhere. And then we're gonna start color sanding and buffing on the firewall. All right, I got everything untaped. I'm pretty happy with how it looks down in there, you can see. You won't really be looking down in here once the truck is done, but this is just gonna help protect against rust from forming in here again, because bed liner is very thick rubber, and it will help make a protective layer and prevent corrosion in the future. As well as whenever you look through the vents, you'll see down in there, it'll look nice. So anyway, happy with how it turned out on the bottom. I like the transition from shiny to the bed liner, but it's actually gonna be, all that's gonna be matte black. It's not gonna be shiny. And you may be wondering, you're telling yourself, no, keep it shiny, keep it shiny. Well, go build your own truck. This is what I'm doing. So I got a little bit of work to do I see something that could be an issue. See that line there? It's kind of hard to see on camera. Get the dust off of it. You can see a line there where the heater is. See the right little heater deal? That little line is the outline of where I sanded through to the Bondo. And hopefully whenever I sand and buff, that will go away. But I guess I needed to put a little bit more sealer on it because you can see that. But other than that, and then we have a run right here. It kind of goes along like that. And then there's a few more little runs. There's one there, very minor. And then there's a little tiny sag right here. But as far as everything else goes, I'm just gonna scuff the entire firewall with a red Scotch-Brite right now. And then I'm gonna get out, and I believe I'm gonna try to start with 1500. So absolutely the most important thing whenever you're wet sanding paint and getting ready to buff it, if you're trying to get out run or trying to get out a place like I'm trying to get out here, is do a little bit and stop. Dry it off, let it evaporate, blow it dry, whatever you need to do, and look at it. And so you can see, you can still see the run a little bit. That's what this line here is. That's not wet. There's a little pinhole, piece of orange peel, some orange peel in here. You can see how that is being sanded on the outside because the paint was thicker and it was just sagging down there where I just wiped my hand. But you look over here, you can see the outline of that shape that I saw earlier in the shiny. And you can still see a few pieces of trash that need to be nibbed out. Now I am doing this with 1000, but as of right now, I'm gonna switch to 1500 because I don't wanna cut too much. I don't wanna go through, and it's pretty close. I can still feel it with my finger. I'm actually gonna do this with 1000 some more. It's too much. But down here, I'm gonna switch to 1500 and right here. And then the rest of it, anywhere else I have a run, I'm just gonna get the run out with 1000 and then do the rest with 1500. But the main thing is you don't wanna go too far. That's a bad thing because you can always take more off, but you can't put it back on that easily. All right, well, I'm done on both sides with 2500 grit, and you can see it's actually getting pretty shiny again, getting pretty reflective if you go at an angle. So I'm about to start with 3000. So I have this Velcro pad. It's a Trizac 3M pad. They're about $10 a piece. And I got a drop of soap in my bottle of water, and I'm just gonna spritz my pad and keep this really wet, set it on a slow speed on my polisher, and just kind of move it around on each side for about 5 to 10 minutes per side. This takes a while, but if you do it right, you won't have to come back. If I do it wrong, whenever I'm buffing, there will be scratches my buffer won't get out that I gotta come back and hit this again. We can go straight from 3000 straight to buffing. We should be able to. Alright, I've done this 3000 step. Now, I may not be done with 3000. I have to buff it first stage and see what my buffer gets out. And if it doesn't get out all the scratches, I gotta go back to 3000. There isn't really any way else to know. You just kind of have to trial and error. So I'm using some McGuire's compound. I don't have much of this stuff. Might need to get more. And then I got a little foam buffing pad. We'll see how it works. I've never used this before with this, so we'll see what happens. I am impressed. I have my flashlight on my phone, because I want to look at this. That was not even a minute of buffing. And look at how clear that is. Holy crap. Wow, that's insane. Next stage I'm gonna do, and I'm just trying it because it's so smooth right now. I don't even really see that many scratches. I'm just trying to get more shine out of it. Is this blue pad that I have, and it said it's the second to last one on the polishing stage, and I'm using some McGuire's polish. So I'm gonna go over each side twice and then look at it, and then I'll probably hit it with the finishing stage, and I'll be done cutting and buffing. Check this out. That's after doing that stage. I put a bunch of little scratches back in it. There's nothing in this one. This one is just my 3-inch straight line spinny sander, okay, with compound, not polish, but compound, which is more abrasive. And then what's supposed to be a polishing pad. Huh. That's weird. Okay. Well, I guess I'll get the softest polishing pad that I've got and put the polish on that and try that instead, because clearly that is more abrasive than that. Okay. Well, I just don't understand what is happening. Every single thing I've ever polished, and I've done black before a few times, when you get to the final buffing pad, or the final polishing pad, the most fine one, and you're using polish, granted, I've never used these pads or that polishing combination. I've always used Griot's stuff that work. You don't have that. And what's perturbing is how clear this is. Granted, there's a little bit of haze to it, but that was with compound and this orange pad on my little mini Eastwood buffer thing. So I'm gonna put polish on this orange pad, because the orange pad with the compound got me that. None of my orbital pads with polish do better. They actually make it worse. So, in theory, polishing this should be better. So that's what I'm about to do. Hi there. Yeah, that looks good. That's pretty clear. Look at it in the light. Incredible. Just literally a mirror. So I'm happy with that. Both sides, same way. That little polishing pad, the little 3-inch 3M polishing pad, is absolutely incredible. And it's really difficult to do black and get it this perfect. If I touch it with my finger, it will scratch it. I've got an issue, and I don't know what caused it, but look at this, how rough that is. I think that is clumped up paint from wet sanding. Maybe this single stage wasn't cured out enough, and it kind of like recongealed and solidified back, but it's everywhere, and I noticed it whenever I was wiping it down a minute ago, getting ready to paint the clear coat. And if I clear over that, it's just gonna emphasize it. You can feel it, you can see it, and I can't clear over that, or it'll look like butt. Now, it's not on the top, thankfully. All right, well, it is dry to the touch. It's been about 45 minutes since I finished spraying, and it's pretty close to what it's gonna look like whenever it's all done. It's still not done dying off. You can still see some areas where it's a little bit shiny, and I've got it pretty hot in here. I think it's about, I don't know, feels about 85 degrees in the booth. Just to let you know why that's relevant, it's 29 degrees outside. And if you know anything about painting, you want it to be above 70 degrees whenever you're painting. And so I've been kind of struggling fighting the cold. So I haven't been running the booth that much, because whenever I'm running the booth, it sucks in air from outside and cools it off in here. So I cut the booth off after about 10 minutes just to try to let it pull air as much as it could to keep dust from landing on this, and I'm pretty happy with the finish. We got a couple of specks of dust. There's one right there, something white, and something there, and something there. But nothing major. I'm pretty happy with that. I did have a piece of trash come off of this. I realized I had my plastic inside out. It has a coating on one side of the plastic that makes the paint stick and stay stuck to it. And I have the plastic upside down or inside out. And the paint has fully dried because I painted the black on Friday. It's now Sunday night. And whenever the wind from the clear coat gun hit it, it blew a bunch of stuff up in the air. It did that whenever I was over here really bad. It blew all of this stuff off. Watching. That's going to do it for today's YouTube video. We got a lot done today, and we're kind of tying a little ribbon on the cab for a little while. I'm going to put it to the side, and next we're going to put the frame together, get it a rolling chassis, and then after that we're going to start working on the bed. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and my first time ever doing anything like this on my own, and I've seen other people do it. And I've done little parts and stuff like this, but I feel like it turned out really, really well for my first ever time. So If you enjoyed the video, you should probably subscribe because we got a lot more cool stuff coming, a lot more off-the-wall, different stuff that you haven't seen before. This, you know, not very common to do firewalls this way. It's a lot of work. I mean, you saw it, but we've got something very, very unique. So, anyway, subscribe, like, leave me a comment. Follow me on Instagram at Turtles Hot Rods. You can see behind the scenes and kind of updates on there before they go to YouTube. Because there's, you know, sometimes a couple of days or a week from whenever I'm working on something to whenever it gets put on YouTube, sometimes 2 or 3 weeks. And I post updates. I try to do weekly updates on Instagram. So follow me there, and I'll see you next time.